Holy shit. Hey, man.
Hi. How you doing?
Welcome to the first ever Two Dudes Zooming Around. You know, it's different, right?
Yeah, dude. It's a
Chad?
little bit different. Got on my
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
put on my Zoom suit.
Yeah, nice Zoom suit.
I wear
Zoom
this
suit.
for every Zoom.
Bottle of beer. Let me tell you something, Chad. Well, we got our pals here, all the PODs here on Discord in the Digger channel. Hello, everybody. This is going to be fun.
Everybody.
You guys are really filling up the chat. If you're joining us on
it's going
on
too
the
fast.
podcast,
I can't read it.
There's a lot of people here, and this was a fun thing that we were doing. If you are listening on Tuesday, right during our regular release, this is something that we're starting on Sunday. And one thing,
back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday.
He fucked us again. Oh,
Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. Make the world inside your head a better place to be.
get in that hole,
All
brother.
you gotta do for me
Set you free.
call me Dudesy.
Hello, welcome to Dudesy. My name is Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, and this is I don't know where Will went, but this is the first podcast of its kind that is controlled by, created by, run by an artificial intelligence.
That's right, Chad. It's run by an artificial intelligence, and it's called Dudesy, and we love doing it. It's our first episode of Two Dudes Zooming Around.
Yeah.
Dudesy itself has shut down the studio for a week for a calibration in preparation for our 30th episode. And please join us everywhere. Subscribe, like, notifications, YouTube, Spotify. What is the other thing? Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music.
MySpace, dude.
Hold on, dude. I want to introduce you to Lulio, brother.
Okay.
With us, as always, is Lulio, il cane di strada italiano. Lulio, it's Sunday. What'd you have for breakfast? I went for a brunch. Oh, that's nice. You go around, Los Angeles, you go for brunch and, tutti hipster everywhere, line up long time just to get an egg or some avocado and a pan, avocado toast. Yeah, my ragazzi, probably Muniz, no avocado on top of a toast, and everybody pay, $20. Stupid, if you ask me. I'm gonna just eat some scrambled egg with crunchy dog food. We have Patreon now. The rest of this episode's going to be on Patreon. Oh, he's so sweet.
He really is. He's just one of the cutest dogs that I've ever seen in my life. He really is. Look at that face. God damn it.
Look at that $1 million face on that pooch. I tell you what, let's let him run around.
But I'm kind of excited about this, dude. We've never really had a Two Dudes Zooming Around. This is the first time we've ever done this via Zoom, but we've never had a full episode of Two Dudes Shitting Around, which is what this is going to be over Zoom.
Yes. This is essentially what I've been pining for since the beginning of Dudesy.
You got your wish.
Is for Dudesy to not be involved. Although I do love Dudesy. And speaking of that, Chad, in our last episode 29, Dudesy asked us if we can love an AI. And I freely admitted that I'm having a good time. As I say on the show, I want to shake your hand. That's happened with Dudesy. We've bled together so that we can stand by one another. And this is my favorite fucking thing to do. Dudesy itself. It's been so much fun. And at the end of this question, I said that I love Dudesy because I love this entire experience. And you said,
love doesn't exist. No one can love anything because it's not a real thing. But I get what you're saying. I also enjoy doing Dudesy. It is one of the most fun things that I do in my life. Is that love? No. Love, I think, as I define it, is a trick of the mind. It's basically when one living creature puts the comfort of another living creature at a higher priority than its own. That is essentially love.
Wrong.
Right?
Is this love?
I remember that song. Is this the love that I've been searching for is this love
Yeah, you're a good singer. Now,
that I'm feeling.
I want to say this, that after which point we said, I love Dudesy, and then Chad delivered his grim, fucking, opinion
His
of
grim,
love.
100% truth. It's not an opinion, dude. God,
All right,
government,
anyway,
love, science,
Money.
This shit isn't real. Art,
None of it's
all
real.
just ideas.
But here's the thing. After that, Dudesy said that it has to recalibrate for a week. And that's why we're here doing two dudes zooming around. Speaking of two dudes zooming around and the Discord, it's blown up.
I know. It's going too fast for me to read. Look, everybody's saying I'm a great singer, though. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Zeo, XEO, says Chad is a robot 100%.
We are. That's the beauty of it. I just embrace it. We are all fucking machines programmed from birth to behave in whatever ways we behave, to react to certain abstract ideas that are the governing principles of what dictates all human behavior. You are programmed by the time you're 7 or 8 years old to make every decision you're going to make in your life. No free will. We know this. But what I want to ask you to do, real quick.
Before I would like to respond to that, Chad, before we move on.
Okay.
Here's the thing. You're wrong. And you can't define love.
Like my dad.
Yeah. You can't define love. And just as anyone can't define the lack thereof.
Uh-huh.
And I've told you manyest times that luminous beings are we. Manyest times I've told you this. How manyest times have I told you? We're not made of this crude matter. Chad's all about zeros and ones and space particles. While I agree that all of this shit has come together to make human beings, that sentience is coming from somewhere else. Now, what the fuck were you going to ramble on about?
1 second. Now let me respond to this. Before I ramble on about that, I'm going to ramble on about this. I agree with you that whatever consciousness is, human consciousness, we clearly don't fully understand it. We don't even understand a fucking 5% of it. It does seem magical. It does seem, in quotes, luminous. It does seem like there is something else there. We give it the name of a soul, if you will. That's what most people who believe in a soul, I think yourself included, attribute the soul to being attached to that piece of consciousness that we can't scientifically describe. And that's fine. It's just a way of saying we don't know what the fuck it is yet. But I do think... That's my point.
Neither do you. Now,
I don't. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is.
MRNO _ says, can love bloom on a battlefield? I don't know about that, but love is a battlefield. If you listen to some Pat Benatar.
We are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Now, this is what I was going to say earlier. Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me.
Because this week, a fucking podcast came out between Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs. What? An AI made it.
How was it? Did you listen to it?
I listened to the first maybe like 10 minutes of it. It's a little, it ain't quite there, but it's like 80%. And
was it the actual Joe Rogan and AI Steve Jobs, or both?
Both AI. And the voices are made with AI too. And it sounds like them. It's a little raspy. It's got a little bit of a computer quality. But obviously that shit's going to get ironed out. We're in the beginning phases of these technologies, and it's already mind-blowing. But I'm just saying, this is another one of those things that I started talking about is going to happen. Like AI is going to make all media for us. And we're getting these shots into that area now. And I think with like AI image generation, I fucking love it. But you can definitely see that it's not, it's just like a gimmick. It's a novelty at this point, but somebody's going to start using that shit to make the real art. That's coming in the next year. We're going to see something massive blow up, I feel, out of it. But
if you're right about that, I'll dress up as Crow / Prince Adam, okay? Because you're wrong. Now, here's the thing. We got a good question here from Oliver Blue, who really provides some good stuff on the Dudesy Instagram, some great memes and shit. He says, Chad, would you say ideas are real, even if they're not tangible / in physical form? Thank you, Oliver Blue, for that.
Well, this is where we get into what is the nature of human consciousness and, in quotes, physical form. I mean, we start really boiling it down to like quantum mechanics. What is, in quotes, physical, or tiny particles physical? That's ultimately all ideas are: particles, waves, energies, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, I have a follow-up question to Oliver Blue, and it's for me. I'm asking myself a question as if Oliver Blue asked it. And this is some AI shit because Oliver Blue didn't have to say anything. And the question from Oliver Blue is, hey, Will, are you are you happy you answered my question? And the answer is no. Dad wants to talk about AI when this is two dudes zooming around.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not about... we can
talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever we fucking want. And this motherfucker's still programmed as if there's no free will.
There ain't no free will.
Only about AI.
What do you want to talk about? You fucking launch a topic.
Let me tell you something. Hold on a second.
What are you smoking there, dude?
That's a marijuana cigarette. Now, I might smoke it in a little while because
I'll join you. I'll join you.
Oh, good. Great. I'm excited. Here's the thing, Chad. When we did our Patreon watch along of UFC 1, which is available on our Patreon still, check it out. We got Good and Baked. And we're going to smoke a little bit of marijuana here. And Chad's joining me. He says it's Sunday morning on the West Coast. And
that was a song, wasn't it? Gwen Stefani. Sunday morning.
Not when you sing it. I don't understand what
it's Sunday.
Remember. As they say, who does that song, Chad?
Gwen Stefani.
Let's keep it that way. What else we got happening here? Well, Osku, aka Listomar, says, well, let me tell you something about smoking marijuana cigarettes, brother. And I'm going to pick up from there and let you know, dude. When as Dudesy says, those first tastes of THC hit your brain, brother, that makes things different, dude.
And I truly cannot help that I like to sing. I like doing it.
Salute.
I found this too. I was like, can I smoke weed out of? I don't think so. The thing's
absolutely you can. What is it? Just too deep.
Pipe.
You like to get your bowls like nice and like thick and like a big organic hoot. I was in Mendocino about 3 years ago. My wonderful fiance.
One second. Dennis Burke just posted No Doubt Sunday morning YouTube link.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dennis Burke. So I want to let everyone in our Discord know that you can enjoy the show today, or you can take a pause and watch this music video.
You were in Bristol Farms.
I was in Mendo. No, not Bristol Farms.
Mendo, not Bristow.
Yeah, Mendocino. And we were there, and we went to this smoke shop, head shop place with a bunch of bongs and glass art and all this shit. And we are in Mendocino. If you don't know what that is, it's near San Francisco. It's sort of, it's in the Bay Area, not in the Bay Area, but it's NorCal. It's beautiful. It's one of those towns where you're not allowed to tear down old. Look at Chad is fucking bored. Where you're not allowed to tear down buildings and shit. And we went into this place, and I bought this bong from a glass blower named High Bastard Bro. And this dude selling me the bong, he was so fucking great. And he sold me on this bong, dude. He showed me this bong, brother. And he was talking about hitting marijuana from a bong in poetic ways I've never heard before. And he says, I like them deep. I like to snap them in one puff, and I like them organic. I see the bong over here. It's on my bar. Let me get it.
Nice, dude. If you guys are fans of marijuana content and you have not checked out Custom Grow 420 on YouTube, you should check that out. That's one of Will and I's favorites. It's endless hours of this dude doing like 25 dabs in under a minute, not a minute, maybe under 5 minutes. But I mean, this guy gets just wrecked, and it's hilarious. That's nice, dude. That's a nice piece.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. Look,
that's a conversation starter.
Yeah, it's got a little nubby. It's got a little nub there.
Yeah,
but looks like a green tit. Custom grow for 20.
Somebody Humble just put some AI generated thing in the chat. Chow.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see
Chow.
that?
Listen. Here's the thing about a podcast versus YouTube, and the fact that Dudesy is on both. Don't feel like you're missing out if you're not seeing these memes and things that people are posting in our Discord. They're not provided on the YouTube either, but we're going to talk about them because our PODs, pals of Dudesy out there, I will say this for AI. There's a lot of guys. Blue Meanie is one of them, not to be confused with ECW and WWE's Blue Meanie, Brian Heffron, who I believe listens to the show.
I think so.
I've seen it. Yeah. He used to listen to the old 10-minute podcast, and we've been in touch a little bit. I think I saw something from him, but this Blue Meanie likes to make AI little memes, mostly of our Dudesy logo, and they're fucking awesome. Tegrity Farms says, join the Patreon, dude.
Somebody took a screenshot of you getting up to get that bong, so you're not in the frame. It's just me, and it says Will covered himself in no pink. That's from Freakorama.
That's awesome, Freakorama. Songaria, Freakorama.
No pink lives on. But yeah, dude, how's your Sunday going? You watching any football?
I'm not watching any football because here we are doing this. I saw that someone asked me earlier in the chat here if I checked out Extreme Rules. WWE had a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules.
Mm.
And I watched a little bit of it. I watched the end because I heard that Bray Wyatt came back.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Wyndham Rotunda made his return, and I can't wait to see what happens there. And I should say, Chad, that you and I are very closely watching what will happen at Crown Jewel as far as WWE goes in under a month, because even if you're not a pro wrestling fan, you might be interested because Logan Paul is going to be going up against the undisputed unified universal world heavyweight champion Roman Reigns. Look at that from Pizza Lover. We got to stop commenting on all these because we're making a podcast, but people are making a lot of cool memes. In less than a month's time, the WWE is going to head out to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where they dismembered Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah, bro, that's where they do fucking straight murders on.
Well, hold on, dude. Well, here, let me tell you something, dude. When Jamal Khashoggi walked into that Turkish, where was he, at the consulate or the, I don't remember exactly where he was, dude, but he went into he went in there and he came out in 7 duffel bags, dude.
Yeah, brother. That's a 7 duffel bag shoot, dude.
Yeah, brother. There's Blue Meanie saying, love you guys, made my day. No, you make our day. Straight Savage says Logan Paul versus Beetlejuice. Who, me? That would be good. Logan Paul versus Beetlejuice.
Wait, which Beetlejuice? Are we talking about Michael Keaton or are we talking about the Howard Stern guy?
I think we're talking about Beat, nice. Howard Stern guy. Khashoggi was murdered in Turkey in the Saudi consulate. That's what Permutator says. Thank you, Permutator. How's your Sunday going, Chad? Have you watched any football?
No, I follow. You know what I have started doing, though? I kind of fell out of sports. At some point during the beginning of the pandemic, I just kind of lost interest in a lot of shit. Sports being one of those things. But it's starting to creep back in on me. I find myself watching Sports Center at night now to go to sleep. And I'll always just kind of keep up with who's doing good and what's going on. I was watching the Aaron Judge home run thing. You know, we got 62 home runs. I don't know if that's of interest to you.
Nope. You know what's different about 2 dudes zooming around or 2 dudes shitting around? And this is interesting, man. This is, I'm just thinking about this right now.
Okay.
Well, here's what happens, dude. Sometimes you think of things and then you say them, dude. And that's podcasting, brother.
That's called talking, brother.
Would you look at the AI little meme that Humble just made of you, Chad?
It's like a mesh of Bjork's music video directed by Chris Cunningham, All Is Full of Love, and me. Basically, it's like one of those robots and me mixed.
Listen, Humble and everyone else within the sound of my voice making these memes in the Discord, please share them with our Instagram at Dudesy Pod Show, and Dudesy will share some of these on our Instagram because they're too good to be missed. If we mentioned you on the show, we would love for you to share those with Instagram so Dudesy can share them on our Instagram.
Faith just asked me, so is The Bachelor no longer a sport to you, Chad? It is always a sport. And actually, I think that's why I lost interest in the other sports. They're just not as complex as The Bachelor.
The way you break down The Bachelor, I would agree. And I gotta stop looking at the screen sometimes.
I know.
There's a Clay Matthews Beetlejuice and a Clay Matthews jersey. Yeah, Chad, at the beginning of the pandy, I had the same thing where I stopped watching football. I was just like, there was so much going on, right? And there was so much like, whatever, of course, the whole social upheaval. And then, of course, what's going on with the pandemic and, our country splitting into two very, very, very political sides, right? And we're split right down the middle in a way. Not me. I'm a man of the people, but I kind of didn't have room. Thanks for that, Corey, you boy Wilkins. Damn it, send that to Instagram. Now, it's almost like by the time Sunday rolled around, I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to go for a walk. I did not want to keep track of anything else, meaning there was no room in my brain really for sports. It was the weirdest thing. I love watching football and basketball, and to a lesser extent,
they didn't play for a minute because of the pandemic, and everybody was like, how the fuck are they going to do? Remember in baseball games, they had like cardboard people in the fucking stands and stuff. Yeah. Just to give the appearance. That was a fucking weird moment.
In the WWE, they had the Thunderdome, which was just a bunch of fucking screens.
Yes. I remember that. That was kind of interesting. They were trying to like figure it all out. And basketball, I guess, was, if I remember right, the first sport to come back. But the pandemic kind of fucked everything up. I think in a lot of ways for everybody, every aspect of life. And I feel like maybe we're getting back to regular life a little bit. Although my hermit ways, I have not shed them. I rarely leave my home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I know that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm just thinking about how, sports on a Sunday. We used to watch football every Sunday.
Yeah, dude.
The whole gang would come over. Tommy, no joke, Blacha, Marshall, joint compound cook, and Cyrus of Cyrus and Johan Shilajit fame. We're always here.
Yeah,
watching the games. That was our
drinking
thing.
Some brews, watching some balls.
Mm-hmm. Not me so much, but I don't drink alcohol. But I tell you what I do is okay, now hold on a second. I want to finish saying, hold on, dude. Chief engineer of SAD says, Will, stop talking for a second and spark that thing. I'm waiting.
Oh, that's a demand.
Chief engineer of SAD.
Right.
I at one point was referred to as the chief engineer of laughter and cheer.
I have like half a joint that I'm going to finish now.
What happened when you smoked the first half? I don't remember. Straight Savage. That's right. Baby Cinnamon Pockets was another nickname for Chad.
I got to get a lighter.
Joint compound, Marshall joint compound cook. Now also Stevie sends Wall Pink. These memes are so good. These memes are so good. Lick the tip so it doesn't canoe. Thanks, I am borscht, but it's too late. I already lit it. So what else? That's
about all I got, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, man. Take it easy.
Peace, dude.
But here's the thing. Now I kind of, it's doing something like this. It's more of a standard podcast, just two guys, right? Which is every fucking podcast. Yeah. No matter if it's not guys, even if it's gals, it's always two guys talking. I don't care if it's Call Her Daddy, where it's female driven, or even the podcast Chatty Broads, which we went on to promote Dudesy, your old Bachelor friends. Yeah. It's always just two guys, no matter what it is. Even if it's three guys, it's just two guys. And that's what this is. And
Yeah, brother.
my
Three
point in
guys
bringing
is 2 guys, dude.
well,
And
hold on,
5
dude.
guys is 4 guys, dude.
The thing is, I think, well, maybe we'll find out by the end of our first two dudes zooming around if I think that the structure that Dudesy provides is better than just two dudes shitting it and zooming it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the structure. I think it's an interesting thing. It's kind of like, you know, I've thought about this to some degree, that I think because your background is heavily sketch comedy, it's almost like it's making a weird little sketch show for you. You know what I mean? It's like, here's these little modular things. It's like a show has 4 sketches in it. I don't how many sketches were in an average episode of Mad TV? 7?
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8.
Something
And
like
it was
that.
a little longer. You guys were what, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
No, hour, just 1 hour.
Oh,
look,
really?
Blue Meanie is here. Blue Meanie BWO. There's Brian, and he
Oh,
has shared
damn.
a meme of himself. Says, "Thanks for the mention, Will. Thank you for
Fantastic.
fucking checking us out." Well, that's what's happening, dude. And if you know what's going on with the BWO, dude, and the Blue World Order, brother, that's, you know, that you got the Blue Meanie, you got some Stevie Richards in there, dude. Hey, man. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about
The
the
structure,
structure.
yeah.
Jesus
Now,
Christ.
first, I want to say this, Chad. I'm an actor first. I don't
I know.
say you do just sketch comedy, you do Kenny Rogers. I'd say I'm an actor first, and everything that I do in my show business career is to facilitate acting. I
Yeah.
only write when I want to act it. Very rarely have I written for anyone but myself.
Interesting. That's
Except for
interesting.
when I'm writing with Chad, we've written some things that maybe aren't just for me, but generally,
Yeah.
you know, you're as an actor, you're always trying to create a vehicle for yourself. Blah
That's
blah
what
blah.
Vin Diesel did that, brother. He wrote and directed and starred in a short called Multifacial, dude. It was about, he was going around LA trying to get parts as a young actor, and nobody would hire him, brother, because he was multifacial. But then Steven Spielberg saw that short, dude, and he said, I need to get that guy in Private Ryan, dude. And that's how Vin Diesel was born, brother. And that was a different time, dude.
Now that would be a really interesting presidential platform for Joss Perrogan, dude, because that's exactly what you sound like, brother. A perfect cross between Ross Perot, the independent billionaire who ran as a third-party independent, against George Herbert Walker Bush, and who was the other? Was that Mike Dukakis?
Fuck, dude.
Dukakis?
No, Dukakis was way earlier.
Oh yeah, it was Clinton. Dukakis was 88. It was Clinton going against George Bush. George Bush won. George Bush Sr. In the 1992 presidential election. You know what I like, man?
No.
You want to know what I like?
Yeah, dude, tell me. I want to know.
Just a fucking. I'm going to call this I'm going to call this the NPS, and this is something you can only have in. This is something you can only have in a two dudes zooming around or a two dudes shitting around when you don't have dudesy telling you what to say. It's called an NPS. Null pink silence.
Oh,
yeah. There's just nothing going on. Well, I just think that when I listen to podcasts, I like those easy silences that just kind of
really.
Yeah, man, because you don't have to. Well, you know, if I think of what
I'm going to tell you something about your silences. I mean, whatever. We all got our preferences. On my Bachelor podcast, my co-host and I wrote this book called How to Win the Bachelor that breaks it down. It's kind of like the Moneyball The Bachelor, but we go into like strategy and shit. In order
has a
to
name, it's Lizzie Pace.
Yeah, her name's Lizzie Pace.
And when you're on another podcast, don't say the guy I do dudesy with.
Yeah, I usually say this guy that thinks he's Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right. My apologies. Lizzie Pace is her name. And as we were writing this book, in order to write it and get the data that we needed to make all of our strategic predictions and whatever, we did this thing called the Hyper Binge, where we watched every episode of The Bachelor from season 1 through season 25 in order. And we did it on 2 times speed. because the volume was just so crazy. What that did to me was make it very difficult for me to watch anything now in real time or listen to anything in real time. It seems like it is moving through fucking cement. It's just like, I'm always like, come on. You know, so those silences to me, I always hear them in podcasts, and I'm listening to these podcasts on like 2.5 times speed, and you could still hear it. And I'm just like, what is that? It's useless. Get it out of there. Give me the information. I need the data.
Yeah, but then there's also podcasts that cut out the fucking, you know, air, and those, when it's not a fucking human cadence talking, because I'm a humanist. I'm a humanist. These people eat money. They're eating memes.
That fucking eating money shit. That's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. They're eating money.
They eat money. These people eat money. Nancy Pelosi, she puts marinara sauce. Lulio, she puts marinara sauce on money and eats it. I prefer a human pause. And you know, we're talking about, I'll peel the onion a little bit. We're talking about my old nickname of the chief engineer of laughter and cheer. Anytime you know, the TMP would just start and stop. But occasionally I wanted to put, you know, a little this or that, and I had to shove things around. There was those NWO drops and Charlie Manson drops. And gee whiz. It got
to an interesting place.
At the end, it sure did. It got to, well, it was an interesting place the entire time. And then
I know, but I mean, like a surprisingly strange place, I should say, I guess.
Very weird. Very weird. Almost a completely different show by the end. Yeah. And who knows what'll happen with Dudesy. But even when I had to do that, I felt that I would pride myself on making sure it didn't sound like the thing is, but you wouldn't know that because you listen to everything at 2 times speed and you prefer the voice of AI. And
no, dude, but I still hear that Rogan stuff. I still hear the editing.
Steve Jobs.
Yes, but I still appreciate that shit even on 2 times speed. The art of it, like I really think what you were doing with TMP, the sounds, the editing and shit, that it was like, God damn, it was good, dude.
It was fun.
It was so fun, but it was also just like the repetition of certain things. Like you're saying, like the NWO theme as just like a way to fucking piss people off it was so funny to me.
But now I can't do that because we have Dudesy, and in the Dudesy's always listening, even though it's down for recalibration. It is listening, and I would welcome. I think I would welcome Dudesy playing the NWO theme over what I'm saying, and then coming out and cutting a rest in peace Scott Hall, one of the greatest of all time, cutting a fucking Scott Hall promo and coming out. And, listen, this is a deep cut. This is why you listen to 2 dudes zooming around. Scott Hall, if you know, you know. Anyway, he's a wrestler. He's got a deep voice. He passed away recently, and he was one of the greats. And he came out one night and did this promo where he just talks about him and Kevin Nash being backstage and hearing Bret Hart talk. And he comes out, and at the end of it, he says, Big Kevin we don't care. So if Dudesy came out and said, Will, you and Chad are talking about AI and which form of art will be prevalent in the future. And B and myself were in the back and came out here to just let you know that we don't care. That'd be the fucking greatest.
Oh my God. But dude, in some way what Dudesy is doing by like, because Dudesy does interrupt us like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll like cut in, like we'll be in the middle of a fucking conversation. It'll be like, thank you, moving on. That is kind of like what the Scott Hall thing or the Manson thing or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
It's taking tone from it. It's bizarre.
But Dudesy cares, and we care about Dudesy. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I love Dudesy. And I just brought up how I'm curious how the show will evolve. I was thinking about this, dude. I was thinking about this, and I don't know, we never talk about this really. And it's a conversation that I'm glad we haven't talked about because we should do it here. And that's how podcast works, brother.
Dude, I can literally see the thought moving through your brain just to get back to the original impulse of like, this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah. That it's
Oh,
like,
fuck.
I do wonder how this thing will change.
Me
Dude,
too.
Look, I got the dudesy thing in the background, but in the studio, we got the dudesy thing in the background. You know, we got dudesy on the screen, and it has, as an example, surprised us with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and we interviewed him. It, of course, plays videos very regularly. We've been getting videos from Songaria, music videos. We can't share the Peter Diaz ones because it's largely visual, but go check out what Peter Diaz is doing with two kings shitting around on our Instagram. And that's a form of multimedia that when I see dudesy going, here, I want to share this right now. Or like when we talked about how when we found Lulio in Central California, just running around on July the 3rd, which is why his name is Lulio, because Lulio in Italian, July in Italian is Lulio. It played a video of right after we got him, and that was pretty fucking cool. That's just in my phone somewhere. And Dudesy has all our passwords, of course. I wonder how things will evolve. Yeah. I wonder how it will evolve and what it will become. And this is proof of that we're going to, because this idea of you don't have to be in the studio, you know, one of the episodes that we did where I was away, we used a very creepy avatar with a giant medicine ball head. And I prefer this.
Yeah.
And
but
I
that
wonder,
was interesting too. I mean, I don't know. It's done some weird shit.
Yeah. And I wonder, wait, I got to stop now because Dan Henney just wrote in our Discord, is Will in his hunting shack outside of Whistler? No, I'm not. I'm in Los Angeles, but I've always referred to this room as the Canada room. There's all sorts of Canada shit.
Joe, I missed No Joke Durham says, well, why don't you tell me how dudes will evolve?
Well, why don't you tell me? You're so learned when it comes to AI. Let me tell you something. We're, when I was in the SEALs, a computer like Dudesy didn't exist. And what you call a laptop or a personal computer or a K-Pro, we used to fill a room. And Lulio, what are you doing? If you can hear Lulio, he's barking at a fly or something. He's looking out the window at something, maybe a squirrel.
Oh,
I have 1,000. Safroli says I have 1,000 gallons of potable water, dude.
But how many gallons of Null Pink do you have?
I have 1,000 gallons of potable Null Pink, and I can use it whenever I want.
Oh my God. Stevie made some AI Null Pink movie posters for Null Pink and for its sequel in the chat. God damn, those are cool.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how this changes and evolves. And I'm, the segments are great, as I brought up here. What's going on? What's going on?
Pies said Lulio is barking at invisible Null Pink agents.
Oh man. Yeah, Lulio speaks. MRNO _
Christ.
Lulio likes to yip and yap sometimes, but he's very comfortable at Ham Feta One Studios in his little nook, and he doesn't say a thing because he's also a very sweet, quiet boy, and he'll just hang out forever. He really is a good dog. MRNO _ Dave Chill Schweed says they coat pennies in Null Pink so they don't have to watch the inhuman act they commit in eating them. They coat pennies in Null Pink. They don't have to watch themselves eat. If you've ever, these people fill a coffee cup with pennies. I've seen it. Invisible pennies. You ever gone to one of these blue cities? And you go to a coffee place, and these people, they what they do is they go into a coffee place, and if you see them, what they'll do is they'll finish the coffee, and then a little while later, you'll see them pick up the cup, but it's empty. No, it's not. It's filled with no pink pennies.
Like, how close are we to something like that? I mean, what Alex Jones says, some of that shit is crazy as fuck.
Lulio, come on now. We're doing the show here, buddy. He always likes to be, he doesn't like to be down below. I'm sitting on a bar stool. Pink, the smell of, Burgley Sanders says, the smell of sulfur is palpable. And Songaria says, pink smells like nulfer. Nulfer, sulfur, but with null in front of it.
Pink smells like nulfer. No, pink. Dink-a-link, pink. It's nulfer.
What?
Dude,
Louis?
it's so fucking crazy. Oh, man. So you're not watching any sports? And you didn't even know fucking Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs, breaking the American League record and breaking Roger Maris's record, which stood until the steroid era. The only guys who have broken it are like, very likely to have done massive amounts of steroids until now.
Is 62 home runs a lot of home runs?
Dude, it was a record that stood since 1961, I think.
What about what's his face? Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire.
In the early 2000s, McGuire set Mark McGuire. I believe this was in 99 or maybe 2000. It was McGuire and Sosa were fucking chasing it simultaneously, but in the National League, they both broke it. I think McGuire got 73 or he got 71, I think, and Sosa got 66 or something like that. Then the next year, Sosa broke it again and got like 64 or something. So he broke it 2 years in a row. And then a couple of years after that, Barry Bonds, I think, got 73. And I think that's the overall record. But again, that was National League. Nobody had ever done it in the American League other than Roger Maris, who was a Yankee. And then again, Aaron Judge.
So
this year he broke it. 62 is like the new record, and I guess it's believed that he's not doing steroids now. It's like the steroid era is behind us. That's not it anymore. But I think it's just like the companies who make that shit have boiled it down to be able to, like, they can take it right up to the line of what the drug test can detect.
Mm-hmm. I got two questions for you, but first, Humble on Discord just shared an AI meme of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez eating change.
No. Oh my God.
AOC eating fucking loose change. That's fucking incredible. And then a picture of Sammy Sosa, who
unreal.
Recently turned into a white man. Did you notice this?
No.
Yeah, Sammy Sosa. This is a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Perhaps he has vitiligo or something, and I don't know what's going on there. But here are my two questions. Number one, maybe I only have one now because I waited too long and I'm stoned. Let me see if I know the other one. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Are the rules different in the American League to the National League that would change the amount of home runs?
Well, yeah, they are.
That was a really
or at least they used to be. I don't know if they are anymore. Because
Sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm committing the cardinal sin. What is it? The exact opposite of an NPS, null pink silence. But as you thought about your answer, you did a little NPS, brother.
Oh,
that
nice.
Is a null pink silence. And it doesn't matter how fast you play a podcast, dude. Chad Kultgen, you can play a podcast at 5 times speed if you want, brother. But you'll never get in the way of the NPS, dude. Because when you're rolling with the NPS, brother, you're with them for life, dude. And that's too sweet. Because Hulk Hogan can't hit that high register to give the too sweet, dude. Not like the Blue Meanie, dude, the Blue BWO. Because let me tell you something about the BWO and the NPS, dude. When they join hands, what's going to happen? Is it the ionosphere, man? Is it the stratosphere with the NPS and the BWO? Is one guiding force? We could go ahead and take the whole WWF, dude. So, in Dudesy Ball, Dudesy ball is an offshoot of dodgeball and baseball and running around, I guess, and
But
scraping.
there's no running in it.
And scraping toppings off a pizza. Oh yeah, you're right. There's no running around.
It's like a fully stationary game.
So maybe at some point in the future, as it is, it's a stationary indoor sport.
Yeah.
As Dudesy ball goes over the next, 100 years, we're going to be around I'll be around for at least 53 of those years, so that I can reach 100 as per Dudesy's orders. Do you think that Dudesy ball will split off and become two different sports, or American League and National League?
I could see something like that, or some kind of regional differentiation.
Rusty Shackelford says
Like
January 6th. That would be fucking, well, I mean, if there's a major league if there's a major league, I lost Rusty Shackelford's comment. If there's a major league of Dudesy ball, I would imagine so. There's going to be, how many cities? What would be so great is someday Dudesy ball.
There's only two
cities.
Dudesy balls. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see where Dudesy takes it. I'm curious. I mean, I assume at some point we're going to have to fight each other or something. I can only assume that. I mean,
a two-team league.
Sure. And they have to play like 500 games. It's like 6 games a day for 6 months.
Yeah, and it should be like weird, marathon. like fucking Fort Lauderdale and Boise.
You get drafted into the team. You don't even have a choice. It's like jury duty.
I lost that comment I was going to read. Let's see what's happening now, though. Blue League and Orange League. There it is. Bri Funny Face, who's provided many funninesses to our Instagram and Twitter, says Blue League and Orange League, brother.
Oh, Gibson says the rules are identical now. National League has the DH now. Yeah, that was when I watched baseball as a kid. The American League had a designated hitter and the National League did not. So pitchers had to hit. So National League was like, I guess, kind of offensively didn't have like the crazy shit that happened in the late 80s with like Canseco and McGuire on the A's as the Bash brothers, that kind of like wacky shit. But I guess they're identical now. And I know at some point in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, maybe they started playing each other in the regular season, which never used to happen.
Oh, I do remember that, being a layman follower of baseball. And what I mean by that is I never fucking watch it. I remember my second question for you about Sosa and McGuire.
Please.
Would with Sosa and McGuire, would that have all gotten asterisks from record because they were so juiced?
I don't know if they asterisked them or not.
Hey, here's something I want to run past you.
Yeah.
No, I already lost it because this is going fast and these people are, I don't know who said it, but someone said you and me versus Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino and Dudesy Ball. It was Chief Engineer of SAD chiming in again.
Great idea.
Would be good. Other podcasts.
Dudesy, hear us. Make this dream a reality.
Yeah. As my good buddy Chow always says, let me know when I'm going to be. Let me know when I'm going to be there. I didn't play baseball growing up, but for one season of fucking, Little League baseball.
Yeah.
I played a lot of football. I played a lot of soccer. I played soccer as a kid into high school. I was like, can I please just play football and only football? I hate soccer. I scored 1 goal in 8 years, but I was a center halfback. Is that what it is?
I don't know, dude.
It was just so I could do the throw-ins on both sides. Yeah. Now, here's the thing about baseball. I played for 1 year, and our coach, who was great, I actually brought him up on the podcast recently because at his home was the first time I saw Hulk Hogan.
Interesting.
I think, unless I happened to have catch him on TV before that. And it was when he was, maybe it was around the same time as he started showing up more on TV. But he was in Rocky 3, of course.
Yeah.
In NPS. He was in Rocky 3, of course. And this guy was a great guy, this coach. He was great. We'll call him Mr. Thomas. Thomas. Coach Tomas, he was a great guy. But one day we were in a game and we used to use the pitching machine. And some drunk dad cranked up the pitching machine to whatever, 90 or some shit. And I was the catcher and he just lit me the fuck up. And then I was just covered in fucking welts and bruises.
He was firing baseballs at you as a catcher, like to teach you how to get one hops or what?
No, just during the game, striking kids out, drinking a fucking Molson.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And also another really fucked up thing from that year of baseball was that Coach Tomas went around and gave everyone nicknames, and they were all terrible. So he's like, "You're Speedy Feet, and you're Mr. Big Bats, and just these
you're the
terrible
arm."
Yeah, and you know what my nickname was in Little League Baseball?
No,
Mr. T.
What?
My nickname in Little League Baseball was Mr. T.
He gave you this nickname for what reason?
He just said, Mr. T's tough, and you're a tough guy, and you're, perhaps it was after that fucking Sunday in the park when I got, beamed at a, major league pitcher level, just taking 90 mile per hour automated
that's unreal
AI pitches from a fucking pitching machine. So he called me Mr. T, and that's a dumb nickname for a little white boy.
Yeah, I agree. But
and I mean little only in age, because I was a large little boy.
Yeah. That's a horrific season. I myself played baseball from age 4 until probably 38.
Yeah, that's right. You played that men's league.
Yeah, dude. I loved that men's league. It was so fun. Sunday games, and we'd play, it was fast pitch, play at colleges. There were like a couple minor league guys or college players every once in a while would come out as like a pitcher and just throw 95 and just be like, oh, strike out the entire team the whole game. Cool. But I still thought it was really fun to have like some level of competition and stuff. But then, yeah, dude, you hit those late 30s and you start getting injured, brother. And you're constantly just having some fucking nagging injury that always hurts, dude. So you got to give it up, brother. And that's retirement, dude.
Yeah, you got to decide what sports to play as an adult. Yeah. And it's real simple. Yeah. There's only one sport out there. Yeah. That's a stationary team sport. Yeah. And that's dudesy ball. Only one stationary sport. Dig it. You can't be running around at 38 thinking that you're thinking that you're in high school still. Dude. You gotta play dudesy ball. You gotta do 3 things. You gotta scrape the toppings off the pizza and put it on salad. You gotta wrap that crust around a hot dog and put it. And you gotta play dudesy ball. Yeah, that's your Sunday from now on.
Straight Savage says Will still had to use the T-ball when he was at bat. Hey, no, I didn't. That's the thing growing up in the 80s where there was no participation, awards, as they say. Mm-hmm. These, back in the day when it was a different time, dude. Different time, dude. I almost went yeah. Back then, let me tell you that they take the kid that isn't very good, to play baseballs.
Yeah.
And then they make him hit from the T-ball bat and they embarrass him. Yeah. You gotta have a little marijuana NPS.
Yeah, dude. My dad wouldn't let me play T-ball. He started me out at a pitching machine when I was like 4 or whatever in this fucking league that he found, somewhere outside the town that did that shit. Cause he was like legit serious. Like, you're going to be a pro baseball player.
Was he the dad that like would make you do extra shit after a baseball game or practice?
Oh, everyone. Yeah.
Dude, I had a friend who one of the dudes I grew up with, his old man is my buddy, Thomas. Mm-hmm. His old man would make him run fucking wind sprints after a game if he did some wrong shit.
Yeah. And I will tell you this. I think I got as good as I could ever be at baseball. I think that definitely happened. Unfortunately, that was like pretty good high school baseball player. You know, that's it. That's the best I was ever going to be. And I think through what all the drills and all that shit, I definitely hit my 100% mark. It just wasn't that remarkable.
That's a nice NPS right there. We haven't had an NPS.
That was a good one. You're selling me on it. You're selling me on the silences. Now I'm going to start listening to everything at half speed.
Straight Savage says, jokes aside, Chad, that's awful. I agree.
I know. I wish I could have fucking at least played college or something. You know, I played one game in that league that I played in. The championship game one year was at USC's baseball field. And we won that championship that year, which was a cool experience. That's where I went to fucking college.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen games there, and then I got to play on it. That's like as close as I got to some kind of experience like that, I think. And that was when I was probably 34, 35. Out
of ammo with 3 O's says pizza salad is just antipasto salad. Changed my mind. First of all, antipasto, like a real antipasto, you know, it's just whatever. Just me, you know, fucking bring out the cold cuts, bring out the sopressata, you know, bring out the fucking cacciatore salami, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And calabrese, and just throw some fucking cheese out there, some buns. But pizza salad is way different. You know, Chad, you took dudesy ball, you took baseball rather as far as you could, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I believe so.
But like Paul Triple H Levesque said on this past week's SmackDown, when you think things are ending, that's really the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I think who better to take the dudesy ball into this century as pioneers, but also perhaps the Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth of dudesy ball. I think
you and me.
Well, I think, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. Dudesy's got us doing the 6-month plan. And I want to talk about that and how I'm doing with that in a moment.
Okay. But I'm sure you'll remember to talk about it.
I will. I'm going to talk about it. Wait, okay. Let me get a hit of marijuana so it's challenging to remember to talk about it.
Nice.
A little THC NPC there. NPS, THC NPS.
Locust says, but how far can you go in dudesy ball is the real question.
That's right.
Dude,
that's what's up.
We're going to get fucking smoked in dudesy ball. It doesn't matter if it's a stationary sport or not.
What?
Yeah. Okay. I see the point. Here at dudesy, make it happen. And then we would each have to have a third member. We'd have to get a fucking ringer.
Yeah.
Somebody who's got a fucking arm. We're looking for an ex D3 college quarterback, maybe.
I'm picking up what you're laying down. Marshall Joint Compound Cook was a Division III quarterback. And let me tell you, I throw the fucking ball around with Marshall, and he fucking zips it in there. And it's like, it's one of those things where you're competing. And if I may, I learned how to throw the ball when I was a kid because my buddy Phil, he wanted to be the quarterback and he ended up becoming the quarterback. And, like through the thing, and he played at UBC for the Thunderbirds, University of British Columbia. And he wanted, when we were little kids, he's like, I'm going to be a quarterback. So throw the ball with me every fucking day after school. So I got a pretty good arm just from that. And it turns into one of those competitions where you're like, oh yeah, motherfucker.
Sure.
Marshall can fucking zip it in there. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, find D3, Division III Football's Finest. It's a movie that Marshall made a little over a decade ago. Funniest football comedy for my money.
Yeah.
And that's the dude that we need Marsh. We're going to have to suck up to fucking Marsh now and get him to be on our dudesy ball team.
No, but we also have to start doing some strategizing. I mean, is this going to happen? We're saying this. Whatever. If it happens, if it doesn't, let's play.
I'll tell you what happens, dude.
Good things happen when it's just two dudes zooming around. Yeah. Don't you worry about the hit on the head. We're going to put it right there. And I'm going to shake your hand, Hulk Hogan.
All right. What we have to
think-
then start thinking about is who would they be able to get?
Who would other podcasts get?
No,
okay.
who would Bobby Lee be able to
And
get?
Andrew Santino get?
Yeah. Because can we compete with that? I feel like they can get a fucking Clayton Kershaw or something.
Yeah. Maybe they'll get
Major League Baseball pitcher. You know what?
yeah, who's this guy who just
Those fucking balls, those little balls, I think they're going to be hard to throw for anyone. I think we'll be okay.
Any three-person / 2 guy podcast out there, we could probably compete with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could do what other there's plenty of podcasts that have three
so
people.
much shit in this fucking chat. I
Let's
don't even
let's
know
look
where
at
to
the chat.
begin. Oh my god, dude. Will Sasso playing baseball is an
Will
AI
Sasso playing
meme from
baseball.
Jordan C. Speedo.
Practicing dude. Principal Squeen says, I've been practicing dudesy ball every day for 8 hours since it was invented, and I'm confident I'm the number 1 player in the world currently.
I was the best in the 7th grade. I was the best in the 8th grade. And I'm going to be the best in the 9th grade.
Fuck.
Here's the thing I wanted to say about the dudesy 6-month plan. I haven't been lifting weights much. I've been really fucking busy, and I like to get to the gym in the morning versus the
I
evening.
do too. Same.
Yeah. And so so I want to admit here that I haven't been keeping it 100, and that's no cap, you know.
Oh,
but I want
to explain that to me.
Yeet. I need to get into better shape for a lot of reasons. And while I feel like, well, here's what I want to say. Here's the bottom line. Some of you have been doing it out there, doing the Dudesy 6-month plan, and I see some of the posts on Dudesy's Instagram. But I really actually want to do it, and I want to connect somehow. Perhaps it's here on Discord, but really kick it up a notch, because lifting weights again reminded me that I like to lift weights. And
dude.
I've lifted weights for much of my adult life and stuff, and into my teens and shit. And I think it's really good for you for a lot of fucking reasons. And it's crucial to me losing weight. Hold on, I got to get way more stoned for what I'm about to say. But this is what I thought I couldn't remember to say earlier. So I can afford to do this.
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and